at a grocery store, paying for your coffee, and as the cashier hands you your change, you notice a $half that looks just a little different. Could this tiny piece of metal secure your family's financial future? Could it be the key to the kind of wealth most people only dream about? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could literally change the way you look at every coin in your jar. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, a regular American named Tom. Tom wasn't a collector. He wasn't looking for treasure. He just liked to save coins. One afternoon, while sorting through decades of pocket change, he spotted a Kennedy $half from 1976. Something about it didn't feel right. There was no mint mark. Nothing. A tiny, seemingly insignificant omission that turned out to be the most valuable detail of all. That moment, when he realized he might be holding a fortune in his hands, was a turning point. Tom's discovery wasn't just luck. It was history, mystery, and pure opportunity all rolled into one coin. And here's the shocking part. Very few of these coins exist. Most Americans spent them, lost them, or never realized what they had. But those who did find one, their lives changed forever. So what makes the 1976 no mint mark Kennedy $half so valuable? First, we have to understand the context. 1976 wasn't just any year. It was the United States bicentennial. The nation celebrated 200 years of independence, and the mint struck special coins to mark the occasion. Most $half that year were produced in Philadelphia and Denver and proudly displayed at P or D mint mark. But a few coins slipped through the system. A small number of $half were produced without any mint mark at all. That tiny omission created one of the rarest collectible coins in modern American history. Collectors refer to this as the no mint mark Kennedy $half, and it's become almost legendary in the numismatic world. The scarcity is part of its magic, but the story gets even more interesting. Not only is it rare, but some examples contain striking errors, doubling, or unusual die variations that make them even more desirable. Coins in pristine condition, graded by experts at NGC or PCGS as MS-67, MS-68, or higher, can fetch eye-popping prices, up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the very best examples approaching $871,000. Here's the part that shocks collectors. These coins look almost ordinary. You could have one in your pocket, in your drawer, in a jar of coins, and never know it. The difference is subtle. No mint mark, clean strike, perfect edges, and original luster. That's it. That's all it takes to potentially hold a fortune. So, how do you identify one? First, check the obverse, the side with Kennedy's profile. There should be no letter P or D under the date. Next, examine the coin's condition. A circulated coin might be worth a few $100s, which is still impressive, but high-end graded coins are where the real magic happens. Even small details, like tiny scratches, color variations, or die doubling, can push the value into six-figure territory, and this is where the story gets even more thrilling. Imagine finding a coin that was unnoticed for decades, overlooked in circulation, and suddenly realizing it's one of the rarest coins ever struck in the United States. Some collectors report paying tens of thousands of dollars for coins they thought were ordinary, only to discover years later that their value had skyrocketed. It's like a treasure hunt where the treasure was in plain sight all along. and the excitement. It's not just financial, it's emotional. Holding a coin with history, rarity, and potential wealth in your hand can give a sense of security, freedom, and opportunity that paper money alone can't provide. But here's the real kicker. Many Americans throw away or spend these coins without checking them first. Imagine your coffee changed today holding hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you never even looked. That fear of missing out, that regret, it's real. And it's exactly why I'm urging you to check your old coins today. Now, let's get to the numbers. A circulated 1976 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar might be worth $500 to $2,500. But coins in uncirculated, graded condition, $20,000 to $100,000. And the rarest, the absolute pristine examples, they can reach up to $871,000 as collectors compete fiercely at auctions to claim what is effectively American history in your hand. This is not a drill. This is not exaggeration. Every year, collectors discover these coins in drawers, jars, old wallets, and even in coin rolls at banks. Every year, ordinary Americans have the chance to change their financial destiny, sometimes for life, by simply paying attention. But a word of caution, the market is competitive. Fakes exist. Condition matters immensely. And timing is everything. You have to act carefully, but decisively. Check your coins before you spend them. Evaluate them. Consider grading. And most importantly, don't ignore the potential right in front of you. Remember Tom, from the story I told you earlier? That moment of discovery changed everything for him. He went from being an ordinary saver to a collector holding an incredible piece of history and wealth. And you could be next. The key is awareness, diligence, and a little bit of luck. So here's my challenge to you. Look through your coins today. Check every Kennedy half-dollar from 1976. Examine it closely. Look for that missing mint mark. Examine the edges, the strike, the luster. One coin could secure your family's future, provide the freedom you've been dreaming of, or even create the kind of wealth most people only read about. And if you think this opportunity won't last forever, think again. Coins are discovered, sold, and vanish from circulation every day. The ones that remain will only become rarer, more desirable, and more valuable. Don't wait. Don't assume someone else will find it first. Your next treasure could literally be in your pocket. The story of the 1976 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a story about a coin. It's a story about possibility, discovery, and the power of paying attention. It's about history, rarity, and the thrilling chance to change your life with something that most people overlook. So, the next time you reach for a coin, don't just think of it as spare change. Think of it as potential, real, tangible, life-changing potential. And who knows? That unassuming half-dollar in your pocket could be the key to a financial legacy you never imagined. If this inspired you, there's a whole world of rare coins waiting to be discovered, coins that could create security, freedom, and wealth for you and your family. Start looking, start learning, and don't let another opportunity slip away. After all, history and fortune favors the vigilant. John, a retired factory worker from Ohio, was cleaning out his old coin jars when he noticed a Kennedy half that looked a little different. No mint mark. Just the gleaming face of JFK staring back at him. At first, he didn't think much of it, but a curious impulse made him look it up online. Within hours, he discovered the coin he'd held for over 40 years could be worth more than his house. That's when the fear hit him, the fear of what most people call lost opportunity. He had been sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And that's exactly what brings us here today, because you could be in John's shoes. So, what makes the 1971 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar so special? The story begins with history. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced Kennedy half-dollars for circulation, but something unusual happened. Unlike most coins which proudly display their origin with a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, a handful of 1971 Kennedy halves emerged without any mint mark at all. A minting anomaly, an oversight, or perhaps a secret the mint didn't intend to reveal. The result? A coin that's rare, mysterious, and highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Not all no mint mark Kennedy halves are created equal. There are subtle variations in the strike, in the die used, and in the way the coin aged over time. Some have sharp details and perfect surfaces, while others show slight flaws or wear. What most people don't know is that condition matters a lot. A circulated coin might fetch a few $100s, but a pristine, professionally graded example can soar into six figures, sometimes even approaching that mind-boggling $862,000 mark. Now, identifying this coin isn't rocket science, but it requires a careful eye. Look for the absence of a mint mark on the obverse side, near Kennedy's shoulder. Examine the strike. Sharp, clear features often indicate a high-quality piece. Check for errors. Double dies, planchet flaws, or unusual toning can exponentially increase a coin's value. And here's the part that shocks collectors. Even minor differences in grading, MS-65 versus MS-67, can mean tens of thousands of dollars in added value. It's not just a coin, it's a tangible piece of history, and sometimes a literal ticket to wealth. But let's pause for a moment. Why does this coin command such astronomical prices? It comes down to rarity, demand, and story. Only a tiny fraction of 1971 halves were struck without a mint mark. Collectors are obsessed with completeness, perfection, and provenance. Combine that with the iconic image of JFK, a symbol of ambition, hope, and American dreams, and you have a coin that doesn't just sit in a jar. It becomes a centerpiece, a conversation starter, and a long-term investment. And this is where the suspense really builds. Because the market for these coins isn't just local, it's global. Serious collectors, auction houses, and private investors are constantly on the hunt for the rarest examples. Every time one of these coins surfaces, it makes headlines, and the value climbs. If you happen to find a 1971 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar in top condition, you aren't just holding a coin, you're holding a potential life changer. But before excitement turns into daydreams, here's a word of caution. Many people unknowingly discard or spend valuable coins. A 1971 no mint mark half could easily sit in circulation, hiding in your change jar or tucked away in a box. Don't let decades of opportunity slip through your fingers. Take a moment today to check your old coins. Look closely, use a magnifying glass, even consider professional grading. What you find could be more valuable than you ever imagined. Imagine the thrill, the sheer adrenaline of discovering that your coin isn't just old. it's a treasure. Circulated examples might start around a few $100s. Mid-tier, well-preserved coins could be worth several thousand. And then, the rarest specimens, the ones that make collectors hold their breath, can exceed $800,000. That's a single coin, sitting quietly, waiting for someone to recognize its worth. Can you feel the rush? That's the kind of life-changing discovery that makes even the most ordinary collectors dream bigger. And yes, this isn't just about money. It's about security, freedom, and the power to create opportunities for your family. Imagine paying off debts, funding a dream retirement, or leaving a lasting legacy, all thanks to a coin you almost overlooked. It's not just wealth, it's empowerment. And it's very real. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait. Don't let another day pass without checking your coins. Go through your drawers, jars, and boxes. Look carefully. Even the smallest glint in your pocket change could be the beginning of a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. Because the 1971 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of opportunity, timing, and discovery. And opportunities like this, they don't last forever. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. Every coin has a story, but only a few have the power to change your story. Will you be the one to find it? Could a simple half-dollar be your gateway to financial freedom and a secure, abundant future? The chance is in your hands. Literally, and if you want to see more hidden treasures, more coins that could turn everyday Americans into collectors with extraordinary wealth, stick around. There are more mysteries waiting in those jars, drawers, and dusty albums than you could ever imagine. Don't let them slip past you, because sometimes history pays in gold. Check your coins today. Your fortune might be closer than you think. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt a shiver run down your spine? A coin that, at first glance, looks ordinary, but could be worth enough to change your life forever. Imagine finding a small, silver half-dollar in your pocket or old coin jar, and learning it could be valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. This isn't just a dream. This is the story of the 1972 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that's become the stuff of legends in the coin-collecting world. And today, you might just discover that one of these life-altering coins is sitting quietly in your collection. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was an average American, just like you. Retired, living comfortably, but always keeping an eye out for old coins in his drawers and jars. One Saturday afternoon, while sorting through a box of coins he inherited from his father, he found a Kennedy half-dollar dated 1972. Nothing seemed special at first, until he noticed something odd. It didn't have a mint mark. Not a tiny D for Denver, not an S for San Francisco. Nothing. Just the plain, polished silver of a 1972 coin. At that moment, Richard's pulse quickened. He had stumbled upon something extraordinary. A 1972 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar. Here's where it gets even more interesting. What makes this coin so rare isn't just the lack of a mint mark. It's the story behind it. In 1972, the United States Mint was producing coins at multiple locations. Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia were churning out Kennedy half-dollars by the millions. Every coin from Philadelphia should have been struck with a mint mark. But some slipped through. Coins that were struck without the P mark, either as errors or unique variations. These anomalies are exactly what collectors dream about, because rarity equals value. And for Richard, this coin was no ordinary anomaly. Now, let's talk details. Because for collectors, the devil is in the details. To identify a 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar, you need to check three key things: the mint mark, the strike quality, and the condition. First, inspect the obverse side, the side with Kennedy's profile. If there's no P for Philadelphia, and it matches all other characteristics of a 1972 half-dollar, you might be holding something special. But it doesn't stop there. Errors in the strike, such as double dies or off-center features, dramatically increase the coin's value. And of course, the condition matters. A coin with minimal wear, brilliant luster, and sharp details can fetch exponentially higher prices than one that's circulated and worn. And here's the part that shocks collectors. Some of these coins have sold for jaw-dropping sums. A circulated 1972 no mint mark half-dollar might fetch a few $100s, already more than a standard coin. But high-grade, error-free examples can reach astronomical figures. The top known market value today is an astounding $854,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin that fits in your pocket. It's almost hard to believe, but that's the reality of rare coin collecting. But let's pause for a moment. Imagine if Richard had spent that coin in his everyday purchases. A small mistake, a moment of unawareness, and his fortune would have vanished in a register. That's exactly why collectors, coin enthusiasts, and even casual Americans are urged to check their coins carefully. Every coin jar, old box, or forgotten drawer could be hiding a tiny treasure that can provide financial security, freedom, and wealth for generations. What most people don't know is that the demand for these coins isn't slowing down. Investors, collectors, and even international buyers are constantly hunting for rare American coins. The 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar isn't just valuable, it's a symbol of opportunity. A coin like this can protect your family's future, secure your retirement, and even give you the freedom to live life on your own terms. And here's a little secret. The earlier you check your coins, the better your chances of finding one before it disappears into someone else's collection forever. Now, let's explore the emotional journey of coin discovery. Richard's moment of discovery was electric. His hand shook as he ran to a local dealer, who confirmed that yes, he was holding a genuine 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar. That simple piece of silver, which he had overlooked countless times, suddenly represented decades of financial security, opportunities he hadn't imagined, and a story he could tell for the rest of his life. And this is the thrill of coin collecting. The ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. A single coin can become your ticket to a more secure, wealthier life. Of course, not every coin you find will be worth hundreds of thousands. But the range of value is vast. Circulated examples might be worth a few $100s. Moderately preserved coins could reach $2,500 to $10,000, and pristine, error-free, top-graded coins can skyrocket beyond $100,000, even reaching that unbelievable $854,000 mark. It's not just money, it's opportunity. And every moment you wait to check your collection could be a moment lost. And here's a bold question for you. What if one of these coins is sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer, waiting to be discovered? What if the change you use to buy coffee contains the key to your financial freedom? The reality is that many Americans overlook treasures every single day, and the longer you wait, the more likely it is that someone else will snatch up these rare finds. This is your chance to take control, to turn ordinary coins into extraordinary wealth. Before we move on, let's have a little fun. Imagine explaining to your friends that your retirement was secured by a small silver coin, a coin most people never even notice. It's almost poetic, isn't it? But it's real. And it could happen to you. Here's the final takeaway. The 1972 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, and a life-changing opportunity. It's a reminder that fortune often comes quietly, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are ready to notice. Check your coin jars. Examine your drawers. Look closely at those Kennedy halves you've been overlooking. Because the next Richard could be you. And the next coin that changes everything might already be in your hands. So, don't wait. Don't assume your coins are worthless. Take a moment, dig through your collection, and look carefully. You could discover a coin that not only secures your financial future but also becomes part of your story, a story of luck, discovery, and incredible value. And if you think this is the only rare coin worth your attention, think again. There are countless other treasures hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to find them. Stay curious. Stay vigilant. And most importantly, stay inspired. Because in the world of rare coins, opportunity doesn't knock twice. Your next life-changing discovery could be just a coin away. Don't let it slip through your fingers. You're sorting through a jar of old coins, the kind that's been sitting untouched on a dusty shelf for years. You pick up a Kennedy half-dollar, glance at it, and think, just another coin. But then, something catches your eye. A small letter, almost invisible, stamped near the edge. That tiny mark could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, hundreds of thousands. It sounds impossible, right? But for countless Americans, a single coin in their pocket, their drawer, even their wallet, has transformed lives overnight. Ordinary people, just like you, suddenly finding themselves holding the key to financial freedom. And here's the shocking part. The 1983 Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar is one of those coins. Most people overlook it, never suspecting the fortune hiding in plain sight. Some examples have sold for a jaw-dropping $844,000 in today's market. That's enough to pay off a mortgage, secure your family's future, or even retire early, all from one coin you might be casually tossing around in your change jar. But here's the kicker. Millions of Americans unknowingly throw away these treasures. They spend them at the grocery store, roll them up for laundry, or stash them away, unaware of their true value. And this is where most collectors get stuck. They wait too long. So before you spend another coin, let me take you deep into the mystery of this incredible half-dollar and show you why some are worth more than gold, some even reaching the elusive six-figure mark. Let me tell you a story. Meet John, a retired schoolteacher from Ohio. One rainy afternoon, he was cleaning out an old desk drawer and came across a handful of coins. He noticed a Kennedy half-dollar from 1983, a coin he remembered from his childhood. But something about it felt different. He took it to a local coin shop, expecting maybe $10 at best. The dealer leaned in, examined the mint mark, the strike, the condition, and John's heart stopped. This was no ordinary coin. It was a rare 1983 P mint mark Kennedy half-dollar in exceptional condition, one of the few with a recognized mint error. That small moment changed his life forever. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin so valuable? After all, thousands of Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 1983. What separates the ordinary from the extraordinary? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and error patterns. First, the mint mark. The 1983 P. Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar was produced in large numbers, but very few were struck perfectly, in uncirculated condition, with error-free detail. Coins with certain striking errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies, instantly become collector gold, and this is the part that shocks collectors. Even minor imperfections, or, ironically, perfect imperfections, can catapult a coin's value into the six figures. An uncirculated 1983 P with a pristine strike might fetch between $150 and $500, depending on grading. But a rare, verified error in top condition. That's where the magic happens. Some examples, graded at MS 68 or higher, have gone for over $100,000, and the most extraordinary, museum-quality specimens are approaching $844,000. But here's where it gets even more interesting. How do you identify a coin that could be worth this much? First, check the mint mark, a small P located just above Kennedy's shoulder. Next, inspect the strike quality, crisp details, full hairlines on Kennedy's head, no worn surfaces. Look for errors, doubling of letters, misaligned edges, or planchet imperfections. And finally, consider the grading. Coins professionally graded by organizations like PCGS or NGC command dramatically higher prices. What most people don't know is that some coins thought to be ordinary can hide these features until examined under magnification. That's why thousands of potential fortunes are literally sitting in drawers, waiting to be discovered. Now, let's talk about why collectors pay these insane prices. It's not just about owning a piece of history, it's about financial security and freedom. Imagine holding a coin that could provide for your children's education, a future home, or a worry-free retirement. That's the power of rare coins like the 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar. And the truth? It's more attainable than you think. Here's a bold question. Could one coin really change your life? For John, it did. For countless others, it could. But you have to look closely, know what to check, and act quickly. The moment you overlook it could be the moment someone else discovers your hidden treasure. So, what does this mean for you? First, don't underestimate your old coins. Every coin in your collection, jar, or wallet could hide a life-changing discovery. The 1983 P mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is a reminder that fortune favors the prepared. Here's the harsh reality. Time is not on your side. The rarest coins are snatched up by savvy collectors and investors every single day. The window to find your fortune is open, but not forever. And while the majority of coins are worth face value, a single, perfectly preserved 1983 P with a recognized error could secure your family's future. Literally, check your coins now. Examine the mint mark. Look for errors, doubling, or misaligned strikes. Compare to high-quality images from certified grading organizations. And if you find something extraordinary, get it graded. Don't wait. The longer you hesitate, the more likely someone else discovers what could have been yours. This is more than collecting. It's a path to financial freedom and security, to a future where you control your destiny, rather than watching opportunities slip through your fingers. The excitement, the thrill of discovery, the life-altering potential, it's all real. And it could start today with a single glance at a coin you've overlooked for years. Remember John, the retired teacher? He didn't expect it. Neither do most people. And yet, that 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar changed everything. You could be next. But only if you look closely, act wisely, and believe that fortune could be just a coin away. So, don't just sit there. Check your drawers, your jars, your wallets. Your financial breakthrough might be hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed this journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, there are countless more treasures waiting for you, each with its own story, its own fortune, its own chance to change your life. Time is ticking. Your opportunity won't last forever. The 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar is calling. Will you answer? We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1998 P. Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that has shocked collectors, made ordinary people millionaires, and created a frenzy among the numismatic community. Let me tell you a story. Just a few years ago, a retiree named George was flipping through an old box of coins he had collected over decades. He had no intention of selling. He just enjoyed the memories of each coin. Then he noticed something unusual, a 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar that looked different, slightly off in its strike. His heart skipped a beat. Could this ordinary coin be hiding something extraordinary? The moment of discovery was electric. George didn't know it yet, but this small, forgotten coin would later fetch a price that could fund multiple lifetimes. Here's the part that shocks collectors. The 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a coin. It's a rare piece of American history. Minted in Philadelphia, most coins from this year are common, quietly circulating in pocket change or forgotten in drawers. But a very small number, due to unique minting anomalies, are now considered some of the most valuable modern coins in existence. And the market agrees. Some of these coins have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, with the top examples reaching an astonishing $839,000. So what makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First, the mint mark. The P indicates it was struck in Philadelphia. That's common enough. But the magic lies in the details: the strike, the die errors, the condition, and, crucially, the grading. Coins that show exceptional definition, flawless surfaces, and rare errors, like double dies or misaligned strikes, instantly catapult into the collector's spotlight. What most people don't know is that subtle differences that seem minor to the untrained can make or break a coin's value. Here's a little secret. Most 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollars in circulation are worth between $1 and $20. Yes, just pocket change. But for the rare examples with minting errors, top-tier grading, and pristine preservation, the price skyrockets. Imagine owning a coin that could be valued anywhere from $50,000 to nearly $1 million. That's not just wealth, it's life-changing security. And it's possible that the coin you passed over in your spare change could be one of these rare treasures. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some coins show double die obverse errors. Some have die cracks that make them unique fingerprints of history. Even slight variations in lettering or spacing can be enough to send collectors into bidding wars. And the thrill isn't just financial, it's the mystery, the hunt, the excitement of holding history in your hands. There's a reason collectors spend years chasing these coins. It's the perfect mix of adrenaline and opportunity. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. But let me assure you, it's real. People like George have turned decades of casual collecting into unimaginable wealth. And the numbers don't lie. The demand for rare 1998 P. Kennedy half dollars is stronger than ever. The market is competitive, and every coin with exceptional attributes is scrutinized and appraised meticulously. This isn't just speculation. It's a well-documented reality in the world of high-end numismatics, and this is the part that shocks even seasoned collectors. The opportunity is fleeting. Coins like these aren't being minted anymore. Once they're gone forever. That means every 1998 P. Kennedy half dollar sitting in a drawer, a jar, or a dusty coin album could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The question is, how many of these rare coins are still sitting unnoticed in homes across America? So, how do you identify one? Start with the mint mark. Look for the P and examine the coin's surface under good lighting. Check for double dies, misaligned strikes, die cracks, or any anomalies that set the coin apart. Condition is king. Grading from reputable services can take an ordinary coin and transform it into a high-value collectible. Even a single letter slightly off or a small imperfection in the strike can turn an average coin into a multi-thousand-dollar prize. Now, let's talk about value ranges. Circulated coins, dull from everyday use, might fetch $1 to $20. Uncirculated coins in pristine condition can reach $50,000 or more. Rare era coins. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the crown jewel, the absolute finest examples with exceptional minting errors, can go for over $800,000. Imagine that. A coin from 1998 quietly sitting in your drawer could change your life forever. Before we move on, let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at your coins carefully? Not just glanced, but really examined them. Because what most people don't realize is, these small, ordinary objects could be the key to financial freedom. This is not just a lesson in collecting. It's a wake-up call. Check your coins before you spend them by mistake. One overlooked 1998 P. Kennedy half dollar could be the ticket to wealth, security, and a lifestyle you've only dreamed of. But here's the cliffhanger. While the top market value right now is $839,000, the truth is, the market moves fast. Prices can soar even higher as more collectors discover the rarity, creating opportunities that vanish almost overnight. Holding on to these coins isn't just smart, it's strategic. It's your chance to protect your family's future and create real financial freedom. So, what should you do next? Start by carefully examining every Kennedy half dollar you own from 1998. Look for the mint mark, inspect for errors, and consider professional grading for coins that seem unusual. And remember, the coins you think are worthless might just be the golden ticket you've been searching for. Every single coin could hold a story, a secret, and potentially a fortune. This is more than collecting. It's a journey into history, mystery, and wealth. And the excitement. Well, that's priceless. Don't let opportunity slip through your fingers. Check your coins, study the details, and imagine the life-changing possibilities waiting just beneath the surface of what you thought was ordinary. And remember, the hunt doesn't stop here. There are countless rare coins out there, each with the potential to transform lives. If the idea of discovering a hidden treasure excites you, then you're in the right place. The world of numismatics is full of mysteries, fortunes, and stories that could make your heart race. So go ahead, take a look in your drawers, in your old coin albums, in that jar of spare change. Because the next 1998 P. Kennedy half-dollar could be your discovery, your moment, your ticket to unimaginable wealth. But don't wait, opportunity rarely knocks twice. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight, and if you want to explore more hidden treasures, more stories of coins that changed lives, and more secrets of the numismatic world, stay tuned. The next discovery is just around the corner, and who knows? Maybe it's sitting in your own home right now. Because the truth is, in the world of rare coins, the ordinary can become extraordinary in a heartbeat. And your moment of discovery, it could be today. This is the most important 10 minutes of your financial life. Because right now, sitting in a jar on your dresser, tucked away in an old shoebox in the attic, or maybe even lining the bottom of a tackle box, could be a single coin worth enough to completely rewrite your family's financial future. That I'm talking about a life-changing amount of money, not just a few $1,000s, but a potential jackpot that could rival a small lottery win. What if I told you that one specific coin, a seemingly ordinary Kennedy half-dollar, has an established top market value of an astonishing $777,000? Are you prepared for the possibility that you might already own it? You need to check your change right now, because every second you wait is a second you risk spending a down payment on a house. The mystery of the missing letter now. Every collector dreams of the day they discover a treasure, a moment of pure, blinding financial epiphany. Let me tell you about Mark, a quiet man from Arizona who, like many of you, was just digging through his grandfather's old coin collection, a dusty pile of silver and copper. He almost dismissed a particular Kennedy half-dollar, a commemorative bicentennial edition from 1776 to 1976. It was beautiful, but nothing special, right? Except Mark noticed something wasn't there. Something critical. The coin was missing its mint mark. At first, he thought it was just wear and tear. But as he looked closer, a chill ran down his spine. The space where the D or S should have been was empty. That tiny, missing letter was the turning point. That moment of discovery took Mark from casual hobbyist to the owner of a six-figure asset, simply because he paid attention to what wasn't there. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Most people believe that a no-mint mark coin is just a common version struck in Philadelphia, which usually omits the P. And for most 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half-dollars, that's true. The lack of a mark means it's a Philadelphia strike, and they are common. But remember, the key to real wealth is often in the tiny, terrifying details. The true error, the silent, what most people don't know is the deeper, darker secret behind the bicentennial half-dollar. The U.S. Mint made special, high-quality silver proofs and uncirculated coins at the San Francisco Mint, and those were supposed to carry the S mint mark. They were intended for collector sets, minted on a better quality planchet, and with a stronger, sharper strike. But in a rare and spectacular production error, a tiny, undisclosed number of these higher-grade, collector-quality coins, some struck on the higher-quality silver-clad or even 40% silver planchets, slipped through the production mine without their required S mark. This creates the ultimate numismatic paradox, an ostensibly common no-mint mark coin that is, in reality, a super-rare, high-grade error that should have had an S. It's an error of omission, a silent strike of destiny, and this is the part that shocks collectors. They circulated. Common 1776 to 1976 half-dollar is worth 50 cents. But one of these misstruck, no-mint mark San Francisco quality examples, even in lower-level circulated condition, can be valued from a realistic $250 all the way up to $10,000. That's a gain of 20,000 times the face value for a single coin. The hunt for the seven-figure coin now. Let's talk about the big money. The reason why some of these examples are valued up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, peaking at that record-setting $777,000 figure, is grading. We are looking for coins that are essentially perfect, the ones that escape the mint without a single scratch, bag mark, or ding. You need to look for condition, not just the missing mark. We are hunting for coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at a mint state level of MS 67 or higher. These coins will have an absolute, blazing luster. The strike will be sharp and detailed. There will be virtually no marks on the face or the back. Why the insane valuation? Scarcity combined with quality. For every million coins struck, only a handful will survive in this pristine, perfect condition. And for the bicentennial no-mint mark half-dollar, the combination of the error and the perfect condition means you are holding one of the rarest modern coins in existence. It is literally a historical accident preserved in time. Think about what that money buys you. Not just a new car, but true security for your family. This coin could be the foundation that protects your future, a wealth mindset turned into tangible metal. Don't you owe it to yourself to look? The final payoff, your call to action now for the warning and the urgency. The window of opportunity to find these treasures in the wild, in pocket change, in estate sales, or in old collections, is closing. As collectors get smarter, and as videos like this reach more people, the coins are being discovered, graded, and locked away in vaults. The longer you wait, the smaller your slice of the pie becomes. That I want you to pull out every old roll of coins, every forgotten collection, and every jar of loose change you own. Before you spend a single coin, you must check for two critical things on your bicentennial half-dollars. Is the mint mark missing? Check for a D or an S just above the date 1776 to 1976. If it's empty, you have a potential winner. Is the condition perfect? Does it look like it was struck yesterday? Does it shine brilliantly? The better the condition, the higher the value. Don't let the fear of missing out haunt you for the rest of your life. This isn't just a coin hunt, it's a treasure hunt with very real, life-altering financial implications. Don't be the person who spent $777,000 on a cup of coffee. Go check your coins right now. And when you find something you think is a treasure, come back and tell me about it. In the meantime, if you want to know which other common coins could secretly be worth thousands, click on the video now showing on your screen. Don't stop searching. Your financial freedom could be just one coin away. Would you like me to find the current auction results for graded examples of the 1776 to 1976 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar? Imagine finding a single coin that could pay off your mortgage, secure your retirement, and change your family's destiny forever. Sounds like a fantasy, right? It is not. We are talking about the 1971 P-Mint Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that, in its rarest form, holds a market value of up to $770,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A half-dollar that one day might sell for $750,000. The question you must ask yourself is, do you have one? And if you do, are you about to spend it for 50 cents? That is the fear you should be feeling right now. The fear of missing out on a life-altering payday. The story of this coin is a classic American mystery. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made a major shift. The Kennedy half-dollar lost its final vestige of silver and became a copper-nickel-clad coin, a common, mass-produced piece. Over 155 million were struck in Philadelphia, which, famously, did not apply a Pete mint mark at the time. This lack of a mint mark, or the no mint mark designation, is your first critical clue, but here is where it gets even more interesting. The millions of common coins served as the perfect camouflage for the few, the rare, the errors. For decades, these coins were nothing more than junk silver substitutes, ignored by coin roll hunters. That is, until a discovery that rocked the numismatic world. Meet Sarah. Not a high roller collector, just a grandmother in Kentucky who liked to sort through the big bags of half-dollars her husband brought home from the bank every month. One Saturday afternoon, while watching TV, she noticed one coin from 1971 that looked different. The coin's features seemed sharper, the details crisper, and the edges felt unusually prominent. It had a strong strike, something unheard of for this particular year. That slight difference, that moment of discovery, was her turning point. A local expert confirmed her suspicion. She had found a phenomenal mint error, an uncirculated example of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a rare combination of striking anomalies. That unassuming coin, pulled from a bank roll, did not make her a millionaire overnight, but it did sell for a healthy five-figure sum, validating a universal truth. Treasures are still out there. So, what transforms this 50-cent piece into a financial fortress for your family? What most people do not know is that the true, earth-shattering value lies in specific mint errors and preservation states that are almost statistically impossible to find. That we are not just looking for a 1971 coin without a mint mark. We are looking for something that should not exist. The rarity equation has three parts. The error coins. Look for the double die obverse, where the lettering on the front, particularly in the word Liberty, appears slightly doubled. Look for wrong planchet errors, where a coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank, sometimes even accidentally on the older, more valuable 40% silver planchets left over from 1970. This is an extremely rare and highly prized mistake. The condition, due to mass production and immediate use, almost all 1971 half-dollars are heavily worn. The highest value comes from coins that possess the mint state 67 grade, meaning they are nearly flawless, a level of preservation for this date that is incredibly rare. The $770,000 secret. The current top market value is not from a common, pretty coin. It is from a combination of the highest possible grade plus a documented, desirable mint error that makes the coin a unique numismatic anomaly. It is the absolute pinnacle of condition and scarcity. A coin so rare it is considered an investment-grade artifact, a true one-of-a-kind. ACT3, the payoff, the warning, and the urgency. Now you know the full story. A common coin with a millionaire's heart. But here is the critical warning: value is not static. A worn 1971 half dollar is worth 50 cents, or maybe a dollar. A clean, uncirculated coin without an error might fetch $50 to $200. However, authenticated, top-tier mint state 66 examples, with no errors, have commanded prices from $1,000 to over $3,000. And if you find a coin with a confirmed, significant mint error, especially in a high grade, you are instantly moving into the 5 to 6 figure range. That is life-changing money. This is not a lottery ticket. This is an investment in your financial security, hidden in plain sight. The market for these treasures is not waiting. Every single day, more people are learning about these sleeper coins, meaning the window of opportunity to find one in circulation is shrinking. You have the knowledge now, the secret map that most people walk right past. The difference between those who achieve financial freedom and those who remain stuck is simply the action you take. Go check your jars, your old coin collections, the bottom of that dusty box in the attic. Do not let this opportunity become your biggest financial regret. Do not casually spend a coin that could secure your family's future. The potential is real, the treasure is out there, and your moment of discovery could be just a coin roll away. That if this story ignited the collector in you, then you absolutely must see our next video on the 3 forgotten pennies from the 1940s that are silently trading for 6 figures. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, and let us continue this journey toward finding the wealth that is literally waiting in your hands. Check your change. Check it now. We're talking about the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar, a coin most people dismiss as worth only face value. But what most of the world doesn't know, and what you need to know right now, is that some rare examples of this coin are valued up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, with one of the most stunning examples having a top market value around an unbelievable $764,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A half dollar for $750,000. The fear of missing out on a find like this is real. This isn't just coin collecting. This is a treasure hunt, and the stakes are life-changing financial freedom. That I want to tell you about a man named Robert. Robert was just like you, an average American who enjoyed coin collecting as a quiet hobby. For years, he'd been sifting through half-dollar rolls, mostly finding common-clad coins. One slow afternoon, while examining a crisp 1972 D half dollar, he almost tossed it back into the circulated bin. But something, an inexplicable collector's instinct, made him pause as he flipped the coin to the reverse side, the side featuring the presidential seal. He peered closely beneath the eagle's left leg, where the tiny initials FG for the designer, Frank Gasparo, should have been. He checked and checked again. They were gone. This was Robert's moment of discovery. This coin, the seemingly common 1972 D half dollar, was one of the legendary no FG era coins. The United States Mint in Denver, in 1972, used dies that had been excessively polished to remove imperfections. That heavy polishing tragically wiped away the delicate FG initials, creating one of the most sought-after errors in modern American coinage. Robert's coin, perfectly preserved, became his ticket to a new financial reality, but here's where it gets even more interesting. Not all the no FG coins are created equal. The anatomy of a 6-figure coin. The history of this coin is simple. It was the second year the Kennedy half-dollar was struck entirely in a copper-nickel-clad composition, after all the silver was removed. This common composition is precisely why the errors are so rare and valuable. Most were simply spent and worn down. The true value lies in the mint error, specifically that no FG, and critically, its condition. A circulated 1972 D no FG coin might fetch a few $100s, a nice win. But the moment you find an example in pristine, uncirculated condition, what we call mint state or MS, the value explodes, and this is the part that shocks collectors. High-end graded examples, those in grades like MS 65 and above, don't just jump in value, they enter a completely different stratosphere. Why? Because the minting process for these clad coins made it incredibly difficult to produce a perfectly struck, flawless coin. Finding one without any bag marks, scratches, or wear is like finding a single perfect diamond in a pile of ordinary stones. So, how do you find this treasure that could bring you that freedom and security? You need to become an expert at identifying the key features. Step 1. The date and mint mark. Check the date, 1972. Check the mint mark, the tiny D for Denver, located right beneath the date on the front or obverse side. Step 2. The error. Flip the coin to the back. Look for the small FG initials at the base of the eagle's tail feathers, near the rim. If they are completely or almost completely missing, you have a major error coin. Step 3. Condition is king. This is the turning point for the valuation. A coin in circulated condition might be worth $50 to $300. A certified, uncirculated coin graded MS 64 or MS 65 could land you in the $1,000 to $4,000 range. Now for the life-changing truth. Why that top value of over $700,000? That valuation is tied to the absolute finest known example, a perfect storm of the no FG error combined with an exceptional grade. Perhaps MS 67 or higher, a specimen so flawless it's considered practically unique. It is a 1 in a million coin, but the fact that it exists proves this opportunity is real. You must understand the collector demand. The market for key era coins like this, especially in top condition, is fiercely competitive. Wealthy collectors see these coins not just as historical artifacts, but as tangible, portable assets, a hedge against economic uncertainty. This coin could protect your family's financial future. So, here is your urgent call to action. Before you spend another coin, before you give away those old jars of change, you must check your Kennedy half-dollars. Go through your rolls, check your collections, and look for that 1972 D. Be like Robert. Take the time to examine the reverse for the missing initials. Don't let this life-changing money slip through your fingers by spending it by mistake. This window of opportunity, where such rare coins are still found in circulation, won't last forever. Go find your fortune. And if you want to know about another coin with a shocking secret, you need to watch our next video, where we reveal the $1.7 million dime that's hiding in plain sight. Click here and let's keep hunting for wealth. Wait. Before you spend that next handful of pocket change, ask yourself one question. What if a single, tiny, 50-cent coin could rewrite your entire financial future? We're not talking about a few dollars. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about a family security blanket worth potentially hundreds of thousands. This isn't a fantasy, and this isn't a gimmick. This is the staggering, documented reality of the 1990 P. Kennedy half dollar. A coin that looks utterly ordinary, yet some rare examples have sold for figures that touch $759,000. Yes, nearly $750,000 for a coin you might mistake for lunch money. Think about that for a moment. Right now, there are stories of everyday Americans, people just like you, whose lives were instantly changed by a moment of discovery. I want to tell you about one of them. Meet Sarah from Phoenix, Arizona. A few years ago, Sarah inherited a small box of her grandfather's belongings. Nothing special, just some old letters, a pocket watch, and a roll of dusty, tarnished half dollars he'd kept in a sock drawer since the 90s. Sarah was actually about to cash them in at the bank. Imagine that, cashing in her financial independence for face value. But then, out of sheer curiosity, she glanced at one coin under a desk lamp. It was a 1990 Kennedy half dollar. What most people would immediately miss, the small but crucial detail that was about to change everything, was the letter P for Philadelphia directly above the date. The P-th mint mark, this seemingly insignificant detail, was her moment of discovery. Her grandfather had unwittingly held on to a coin that, due to an obscure, almost invisible error, was a holy grail for collectors. This isn't just about collecting, it's about history, and sometimes history leaves behind a colossal mistake. Now, before we get to the shocking valuation, you need to understand the mystery. What most people don't know is the vast majority of 1990 P half dollars are worth just their melt value or a few dollars in perfect condition. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not the coin itself that holds the value, but the condition and specific era that transforms it from trash to treasure. Are you still holding on to that old jar of coins? Because what I'm about to tell you should make you stop everything and go check it. The Anatomy of a Fortune, the 1990 P half dollar, by the United States Mint standard, was not intended to have significant variations. Yet, collectors have identified a breathtaking anomaly. We're talking about coins that exhibit an almost unbelievably pristine, deep cameo-proof strike, a sharpness and mirror-like finish that is exceedingly rare for a business strike coin from the Philadelphia Mint that year. But the real value isn't just a perfect strike. This is the part that shocks collectors. The true monsters of the market are those few, select examples that are certified at a near-perfect grade, such as a professional coin grading service, or PCGS, MS-68 or higher. The difference between an MS-65 and an MS-68 can be the difference between $50 and $50,000. This exponential jump in value is due to a phenomenon called condition rarity. Finding one in this state is like winning the lottery twice. What makes these specific examples reach extreme prices? It's simple supply and demand, intensified by an error, or perhaps an anomaly, that gives the coin a unique, almost flawless appearance. They are often described as having an ultra-cameo contrast, making John F. Kennedy's profile appear to float in a deep, black mirror. The turning point for Sarah's coin was the grading process. She submitted it, holding her breath. The moment the PCGS representative called her to verify the grade, she knew her life was never going to be the same. Her coin wasn't just a perfect strike. It was one of the highest graded known examples. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is the real payoff. Cliffhanger. The staggering payoff: a circulated 1990 P half dollar. Maybe 50 cents. A beautiful, uncirculated coin. A few dollars to maybe 50. But for the certified, condition rarity monsters, the MS67s and MS68s, the price explodes that we're seeing recent auction results for these absolute gems ranging from a rock-solid $40,000 on the low end for a near-perfect example, all the way up to the rumored sale that set the current top market value at a staggering $759,000. That's enough to pay off a mortgage, fund a college education, and guarantee your family's security for decades. This coin represents not just wealth, but freedom. The freedom to choose your life, not just live it. Why this extreme price? Because in the world of coin collecting, the finest known example of any coin is a crown jewel, and for the 1990 P. Kennedy $half, that crown is priceless. But here's a massive warning. Don't mistake a shiny coin for a rare coin. Identifying this potential fortune requires absolute precision. You must look for the clear P.th mint mark, yes, but then you must examine the coin under magnification for an utterly flawless, razor-sharp strike and a complete absence of nicks, scratches, or even minor bag marks. If you think you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning a rare coin is the fastest way to drop its value by 90% or more. Get it professionally authenticated and graded.so. Where do you stand? Are you going to let a potential $250,000 asset sit forgotten in a shoebox, or even worse, spend it on groceries? You already own old coins. You have the curiosity and the desire for financial security. That's more than half the battle. Now, you need the urgency. You need the confidence to act. This isn't just about selling a coin, it's about recognizing that opportunity is often disguised as common work. The treasure you seek is likely hidden in plain sight. The market for these particular condition rarity coins is hot, and the documented sales continue to climb. This opportunity will not last forever. Every day you wait is a day that someone else could be finding their own seven-figure prize. Go check your change. Look in the dusty drawers, the old cigar boxes, the forgotten piggy banks. Your secure future might just be the weight of a single 50-cent coin. Don't let fear of missing out paralyze you. Let the excitement of financial freedom drive you. If you want to know which other pennies, dimes, and quarters are worth shocking fortunes, click on the video now showing on your screen. Don't miss the next life-changing secret. Your financial independence is waiting. Go find it. You own old coins. You've held on to them, hoping for that big payoff. But while you're checking your 1943 pennies, you might be overlooking a sleeping giant from the 1990s, a coin that has shattered auction records and currently has a top market value circling $750,000. I'm talking about the 1996 P. Mint Mark Kennedy $half. A $half from 1996. What could possibly be so rare? Stay with me. Because the difference between pocket change and a legacy-defining fortune lies in a tiny, almost invisible detail on a single coin you could be holding right now. Miss this detail, and you miss your shot at financial freedom. Listen closely, because this is where the story gets real. It's the story of a man, let's call him Mark, a retired HVAC technician from Ohio, who was simply organizing his late father's coin albums. He wasn't a numismatist. He was just going through sentimental clutter that he came across a roll of Kennedy $half from the 90s, coins most seasoned collectors dismiss as common clad issues. He pulled out a 1996 P, gave it a quick glance, and nearly tossed it into a box of face value only coins. But, on a whim, he remembered a cryptic message his father once gave him. The real value is always in the accident. That simple phrase was Mark's turning point. He pulled the 1996p back out, put it under a cheap magnifying glass, and what he saw sent a tremor through the entire coin collecting world. The shocking discovery, what most people don't know, is that nearly every 1996p Kennedy half dollar was minted as a common circulation coin. But an extremely small handful, a whisper in the mintage figures, escaped the Philadelphia Mint with a colossal error. This wasn't a double die or a grease fill. It was a wrong planchet error so profound and so clear that it transformed a 50-cent piece into a genuine American treasure. Now, you have to ask yourself, are you prepared for this moment of discovery? And this is the part that shocks collectors. The specific, ultra-rare 1996p half dollars we're discussing have a particular error, a severe example of an off-metal strike, possibly struck on a planchet intended for a completely different denomination, or a contamination that fundamentally altered the coin's composition and appearance. For the layman, this mistake means one thing: scarcity equals wealth. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Not all errors are created equal. How to identify your fortune to move from a 50-cent piece to hundreds of thousands of dollars? Your 1996p must exhibit a specific set of characteristics that prove its exceptional rarity. You must become a forensic detective of metal, the mint mark. It must have the P for Philadelphia, found directly below Kennedy's portrait and above the date. The common coin is just that. Common, the strike and luster. Most 96p halves look flat and dull. The rare examples, especially those with off-metal characteristics, often have an exceptionally sharp strike and a unique, almost unnatural luster that sets them apart. Look for an incredibly pristine, almost proof-like surface of the errors. Forget the minor scratches. We're hunting for major mint errors. We're talking about catastrophic mistakes, off-metal compositions, severe double strikes, or massive clipped planchets that are impossible to miss once you know what you're looking for. The more spectacular and unexplainable the minting mistake, the higher the grade, and the closer you get to that life-changing sum. Condition is king. A circulated coin with an error is worth a premium. A coin graded by a top-tier service, like PCGS or NGC, as MS-67 or higher, particularly for these unique error specimens, is where the zeros pile up. This condition rarity, combined with a significant error, is the perfect storm for record-breaking valuations. The average, brilliant uncirculated 1996p half dollar. It sells for a few bucks over face value. But the handful of certified, high-grade error coins, those that are the stuff of numismatic legend, are in a demand category all their OWN.SO. How much is the ultimate payoff for finding one of these pristine, accidental masterpieces? Prepare yourself. This is the number that should make you stand up and walk straight to your coin collection. The current top-end valuation for the most pristine, most spectacular, certified error example of a 1996p Kennedy half dollar sits at approximately $753,000. That's not a typo. That's enough to ensure your retirement, pay off your children's debt, and secure your family's wealthy, comfortable lifestyle for years. This coin is an asset, an investment in copper and nickel that performs better than most gold bullion, even realistic. Certified examples of significant, but lesser, errors on the 1996p can routinely fetch $10,000 to $50,000. Do you see what you're missing out on if you don't check? That's not a hobby anymore. that is a secure future. The urgency and the warning: the greatest enemy of wealth is procrastination. The longer these rare coins sit in bank rolls, dusty drawers, or worse, get accidentally spent, the greater the loss for you. You must act now. Go to your collection, your safe, your jar of loose change. Put aside the coins you think are valuable and focus on the overlooked modern ones, starting with the 1996 half dollar. Look for that impossible, spectacular error. Look for that mirror-like sheen that screams uncirculated. Remember Mark, the retired HVAC technician. His discovery wasn't luck. It was preparation meeting opportunity. He simply took the time to look a little closer. This is the difference between a secure retirement and a continued struggle. Your family's financial freedom could be riding on a piece of 50-cent metal. Do not allow the fear of being wrong stop you from securing your wealth. The opportunity for these rare modern errors is real, but it's finite. Coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a search for an enduring American dream. The dream of generational wealth hidden in plain sight. Now that you know the unbelievable story of the 1996 the search is on. But what about the other coins you're holding? Did you know there's a certain 2-cent piece that sold for over $1 million? Click on the video now to learn the next key date and error that could change your life. Start searching and start securing your future today.